As I stood at gate 19 clad in my fatigues, I watched the departure board tick down toward boarding time. My mind was focused, trained by years of discipline. But then my phone vibrated, a sharp jolt in the stillness. I glanced at the screen and read the message. Asterisk, your birthday's better without you. My new dad's stronger. Mom says, stay away. Don't come. Asterisk. I didn't flinch. My body didn't betray the fire those words sparked inside me. I let them sink in. Let them sear into my bones. My thumb hovered over the screen before tapping a single reply. Asterisk, understood. Asterisk, no drama. No pleading. Just finality. I slipped the phone into my pocket, walked to the counter, and looked the agent in the eye. Ma'am, I said, voice steady and even, plans have changed. I'm not getting on this flight. For 5 years I had served in silence. Deployed to places I can't pronounce, in and out of battlefields where birthdays passed in the dust and holidays disappeared in static-riddled calls. I missed the little things, first steps, tooth fairy nights, the sparkle in my daughter's eyes as she opened presents. Every sacrifice I made, every drop of sweat, blood, and time, was for her. Not for medals, not for rank, not even for pride. Just her. I still remember painting her nursery a soft blush color, gentle as sunrise. I etched her name into the grip of my rifle, a small act of rebellion against distance. In the darkest hours, lying under stars that didn't belong to my sky, it was her image that kept me grounded. Her laughter. Her belief that Daddy would always come home. But her mother and I, we'd been drifting long before I ever deployed. It wasn't the distance that broke us. It just revealed how fractured we already were. Still, I never imagined she'd turn our daughter into a weapon. The first warning came 3 months before. A video call. My little girl, always so eager to see me, hesitated. She called another man, Dad. Just a slip, she said. Just a game. But her eyes told another story. After that, I started noticing things. New furniture in the background. My ex wearing jewelry I didn't recognize. Stories of vacations I'd never heard about. Then a photo surfaced, an SUV I didn't buy, a man's hand on the steering wheel. I tried to breathe through it. Tried to believe in coincidence. Then the finances began to shift. Our shared savings drained. Child support rerouted. My name removed from accounts. They weren't just building a life without me, they were banking on the idea that I'd stay away. That I'd be too far, too tired, too broken to do anything about it. But I wasn't just a soldier. I was forged in conflict. And silence is where I plan. I reviewed every document I'd ever signed. Reread every clause in our custody agreement. There it was, one line that would change everything. Evidence of parental alienation or manipulation could result in temporary custody transfer, pending review. I began to build my case, not in secret but with precision. Screenshots of messages. Timestamps from calls. A meticulous journal of every inconsistency. My deployments provided the alibi, my daughter's shifting behavior, the motive. Then I froze our remaining assets and filed for custody reassessment. The system may be slow, but truth is a sharp blade in trained hands. Within 24 hours of that cruel birthday message, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. 26 missed calls. 1 from her lawyer. 4 from her. 21 from his number, the so-called new dad. I didn't answer a single one. Instead, I walked into my attorney's office and handed over a thick dossier, organized, relentless, airtight. Photos of her and him, timestamped during our marriage. Bank records. Hotel receipts. GPS data. A timeline that shattered every lie. The judge reviewed it all. One glance told me everything. He'd seen this before but not prepared like this. He called it out plainly, deliberate fraud. My lawyer labeled it financial betrayal. I called it a normal Tuesday. She didn't face me until the courtroom. I wore a slate gray suit. She wore panic. Her lover was banned from the proceedings. She tried to cry. Tried to spin her story into something soft. But when the judge read my daughter's message aloud, verified, traced to her mother's phone, there was nothing left to say. You've used this child as a weapon, the judge said, tone colder than the gavel that followed. You've engineered emotional harm. Custody revoked. Emergency transfer granted. Visitation supervised. Psychological evaluation ordered. She looked at me like I was a ghost. Like I'd risen from the ashes instead of standing steady in the truth. I didn't gloat. I didn't blink. I simply said understood. Outside the courthouse, her rage caught up to her. She lunged toward me, voice trembling with hate. He's a better father than you'll ever be. I met her gaze calmly. Maybe, I said. But I'm her father. And I'm the one raising her now. She faltered, realizing the ground had shifted under her feet. Meanwhile, I had already filed the paperwork to relocate. New school, new therapist, new home. A place where my daughter could grow up without the poison of manipulation. As for the man who played house while I served my country, he faced his own reckoning. Not by my hand but by quiet justice. A discreet tip to the IRS about unreported income and falsified tax documents. The audit came swiftly. Poetic in a way. While he scrambled to explain his finances, I was reading bedtime stories. Brushing tangles from her hair. Holding her close when nightmares stirred. She doesn't know the full story, she's just a child. What she does know is that her dad came back. That he stayed. That he listened. That when someone tried to turn love into a weapon, he disarmed it with truth. They thought my silence was surrender. But silence is my strategy. It's where I plan. And when I act, I don't roar. I dismantle. Quietly. Completely. Retribution, when done right, leaves no loose ends.